What's up, everybody? Gojo here, and today I'm going to be talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yes, I know I called this series iffy, or like I was a little scared when it was coming out, I have to admit, but I watched both episodes and I'm here to bring you guys a little breakdown and thought process of why I think I actually do kind of like this show now. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's better than anything else. But what I am saying is that this show is not what I thought it was. And I have to admit I was wrong. So first off the bat, this picture right here is from the end of the intro. And the whole intro is just amazing. It's fire. I love the song. It's a take on the classic Here Comes the Spider-Man with like a rock anthem rap theme in the back. It's perfect. I love it. And it's quick, and you know what I mean? Doesn't really do too much. It doesn't show you too much. It only shows you what happens in like the first episode. But yeah, then we get like a full shot of the city. The city's pretty cool. We already have the Baxter building. We have a lot of these buildings that are established in this universe, like Oscorp, you know what I mean? I think I heard them say Hex, and not Hex Tech. What am I talking about Arcane here for? But what Horizon Labs, the fuckers in the Spider-Man game that fucked up everything. Yeah, and I just really think they paid attention to a lot of the world building and what they were going to do with a lot of the external superheroes around. As you can see in the car, moving on to the next subject, in the car you see a little Iron Man plushie or toy in the hanging from the rearview mirror. And this just tells you like there's already existing superheroes, you know what I mean? They mention like Hawkeye, like, oh, who do I look like Hawkeye? I have perfect vision, blah, blah, blah. Doctor Strange is in here. And I think a lot of the dialogue is actually really good. A lot of the interactions like with Peter and May, or Peter and his friends, or whoever he's talking to, is really good. They're really fluid, and they don't spend a lot of time saying a lot of tropey stuff, which I do find annoying. That's something that they do in this show, but I get that it's kind of aimed towards kids because it's Spider-Man, but general audiences can watch it because of the dialogue. Like, it is not something that's geared towards kids completely. It is just, there's moments where they say things kind of tropey, and that's just shows in general. Moving on, I wanted to talk a little bit about how Spider-Man got his powers in this universe, because this is supposed to be an alternate version of the 616 we see in the live action universe. So this is supposed to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man, just in an alternate reality. Like, but it's supposed to be a part of the main MCU, right? So we do get to see how he got his powers in this universe, which I'm pretty sure relates to the main 616 that we see in the live action with Tom Holland and his trilogy, because of things that happen later in this episode. Excuse my cough. I'm still coming off the sickness. Also, real quick, I just wanted to mention I didn't have a video out yesterday because of my mom's birthday. Just ignore that. I didn't want to upload on her birthday. I didn't feel like it was a good idea. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So they introduced the spider that gives Peter his powers by when Peter gets dropped off at Midtown High. So I guess there's this school that is made for super intelligent kids. It's made for smart kids, and Peter gets picked to go to this school by whatever means because of his grades, blah blah blah. And this cataclysmic multiversal event, which I'm assuming is Doctor Strange coming from another reality instead of just being a part of this reality. I'm just assuming he's a part of another reality because of the spider that bit Peter, kind of like Miles. I also think that a lot of what Peter does and might come up with later in the show, because they don't really show the gap where he starts practicing his powers, more of just like a little jump from him getting them to him having them and using them. I was going to say that I think Doctor Strange kind of might have inspired it by the way he took down this villain. But moving on, I wanted to talk a little bit about the robbery, or the like Spider-Man crime they tried to like shoehorn in here. This might be one of the weakest points in the episode for me, because first off, They're mugging him in broad daylight. A black motherfucker getting robbed in broad daylight. I don't know who came up with this concept. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to make this redheaded glasses wearing motherfucker rob this rich, almost millionaire kid. But it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if he goes to Peter's school. A lot of this scene with the crime just seems like they needed something to put in there to make Peter fight as Spider-Man. You know what I mean? But they didn't really know how to do it yet without making it like a big event or like something that was like affecting everything in the show. Like this is more of like a small crime that happens, kind of like the other crimes in the show that happen. But a lot of the other things that Peter stops feel more normal, like something that would happen. But this is a mugging. This, I feel like they should have put near the end of the episode, possibly not right in the middle or before school. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was just a lot of how the moments in the show are kind of set up for things to happen. Like when he falls over this car running away from the bullies, he doesn't move to get not hit by this car. Like Spider-Man has to save him because he acts like a little bitch and just stays there to get hit. And then immediately after that, we get a scene of Spider-Man making a very dumb decision. You see he's getting chased by muggers. I don't know if he knew that, actually, to be honest. But he takes him into an alleyway, a blank alleyway with nowhere to go. Like, Spider-Man, you realize you could take this man on a roof, right? But like, at the end of the day, I get it. He might not have seen them robbing him, whatever. I might be nitpicking. But this scene right here might have been a redemption for it because the fight scene was just hilarious. We have this guy rush him with a brick and then he knocks the brick out of his hand, swings it towards him and then knocks him out with his own brick, which is just some fucking Spider-Man shit to do. You know what I mean? Like it really reminded me of Spectacular Spider-Man. But and then this motherfucker gets mad, rushes him, and then gets his ass beat on camera, and then he wraps him up and then puts it on this motherfucker's live stream. Like when everybody saw that scene, we thought that Spider-Man was live streaming. They really tricked us. But you know what I mean? The scene wraps up pretty nicely. Peter ends up going to school. You know what I mean? He then moves into the next portion of the show I wanted to talk about. The two love interests are very interesting, to say the least. I don't know what directly the plan is, if they're like copying the MCU or if they, I don't know, but it just seems like the dynamic is almost exactly the same as the I like the popular girl and then the nerdy kind of cool girl likes me and is my friend until I can get shut down by this more prettier girl. But they made it way worse because this girl is his old babysitter. So I don't know. Moving on. Anyway, another problem I had, I know it's a lot of problems, but the scenes where he's swinging, it feels like the city is kind of small. I don't know if they're going to change that, but this is an example right here of him swinging around the corner and hitting a Spider-Man 2 no swing assist, hit the floor. Like he literally had to do a front flip over a random civilian, which had no purpose, just to get back catching up with this car. And then this scene is fucking fire. That's why I like this show. It goes scene for scene with like kind of bad, like, you know what I mean? Mediocre, not good Spider-Mans to Spider-Man doing some crazy shit. And I really think me as a viewer, I can chalk a lot of these mistakes up to him being a novice. And another thing I wanted to talk about was the absence of him using the Spider-Man abilities for fame. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it in the long run, but I do like it because I feel like they're going to kind of make an aspect where Spider-Man is seen as a vigilante again, and J. Jonah and Oscorp kind of make him viewed as this bad guy that shouldn't be fighting crime or might have ulterior motives. And this scene here right here reminded me of it because of how he reacted. But I guess we'll move on. Another scene I liked a lot was this fight scene with him stopping the robber and asking them to forgive him, or her, I mean. And I think this scene really exemplifies what Spider-Man is meant to be. And the only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that the owner of the store didn't offer her a job and she just ran away, kind of like weird. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It is what it is. They wrote it and it still was cool to watch. But moving on, while Peter's on his way home or whatever, he finds like a VCR in the trash. And then this is where we transition into what I was talking about earlier in the video, where Peter actually is in the position of the movie Peter that we have and see. But instead of it being Tony Stark, it's literally Osborn himself. And I love this twist because it sets up the whole universe for a lot of different things to come. And it exemplifies the fact that in Tony Stark's reality in the main MCU, he is a lot smarter than a lot of characters. He is at the top of his game when it comes to intelligence because of him already knowing about Peter being Spider-Man. In this series, in this moment in the show, he does not know that Peter's, and he's simply coming to him for the actual reason of seeing his grades. I'm pretty sure, unless it's been hidden in the third episode, they reveal it. But yeah, I just think this show deserves a chance from everybody. There's only 2 episodes out right now, and if you guys want me to review the second episode, I can do that. It wasn't really hard to do this one. It just took me an extra day, you know what I mean, to get it out. But I love it. I think it's good. I don't think it's perfect. I just think it's good. And I think it has potential. That's the biggest thing about this show, is I think it has potential to set up one of my favorite types of Spider-Man, because the voice actor for Spider-Man and Peter in this show, I love him a lot. And I love a lot of the voice acting in this show. They got Amadeus Cho voiced by Alex Lee. They got all types of people in this motherfucker. So I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy with it. If not, you know what I mean? You're allowed to have your own opinion. So am I. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though. But yeah, stay sturdy, my friends.